Just remind our viewers how you have had contact with the McCann family over the years, how that started.
Well, I went and did my A-levels with Kate. So I know Kate from Liverpool, from studying together. She went off to do medicine and I went off to do law. But most people know Liverpool. It seems it's a big city, but it seems like a little village, and people know each other there and care for each other there. And when Madeleine disappeared, I guess everybody was trying to help as much as they possibly can, and people reached out to me to say, would I help? Would I get involved? I was trained as a lawyer. I was working in the media at the time, and we set up the fund, Madeleine's Fund, leaving no stone unturned. And this was really because we believed Madeleine was alive. She was out there. How did we keep her name and her image in the papers? And so many people were trying to offer help, money and support. How did we collect that? And how did we protect what people wanted to do? Watching those pictures there, it's actually brought a lump to my throat. Like you said, Andrew, I can't believe it's over 16 years ago. And, you know, there's been so many false hopes and horizons on the way. People have spotted her. There's been tip-offs, there's been information, and yet we haven't found Madeleine. And I genuinely hope for the family that this does bring it to a conclusion and an end. I remember when I last spoke to Kate, she said, Esther, living with hope is exhausting.
I bet.
Not sleeping, waking up every moment, hoping I'll see her, just exhausting.
Esther, I mean, it's extraordinary, the resilience of Gerry and Madeleine McCann. And I can remember speaking to her once at a reception some years ago. She said, life has to go on. We've got two other children. They are a most extraordinary, resilient couple when you consider also the terrible abuse they were subjected to, because so many people said, well, if they hadn't left them on their own at night, if they hadn't gone out to dinner with their mates, they'd still have Madeleine.
Well, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. And I know so many people felt connected to this case and what happened to Madeleine, because I think many people thought, there but for the grace of God,
yeah,
I could have been on holiday in Algarve. I could have been one of those parents. That could have been me. Every parent's nightmare. But it did happen here. And I think that was this sort of outpouring of people wanting to help. And I remember at the time, because we were keeping it alert in the newspapers, and I was in New York at the weekend, and I was with the editors of the People magazine. And I remember them saying, no, we wouldn't cover this story, a very European story, it wouldn't. And then a couple of days later, they called me back and they said, you know what? The outpouring of grief, even here in America, we're going to cover this story because people are saying it could have been them. You know, a regular family, a beautiful child on holiday, having dinner, not so far away, going back and checking the room, and they covered the story. And I just remembered everybody wanting to. You remember Everton Football Club getting involved? You remember the videos, Don't You Forget About Me? The Eurovision Song Contest put it out. Do you remember people putting up rewards? J.K. Rowling, Branson, everybody wanting to reach out and do something.
Do you think it
And I did actually say, sorry, Andrew.
No, I was going to say, Esther, do you think it captured not just the national mood, the international mood? Because, as you said earlier, there, but for the grace of God, so many families go on holiday, they take that decision. Well, we can have dinner. We're only half. We can see the apartment. We're checking every half an hour, and it could have been them. Yes,
and I think that basically was what happened. And I remember at the time, why did it catch a light? I mean, this was front page news day after day, week after week, and on an international scale. And I remember trying to connect that together. Yes, people thought it could have been me. And there were like families and communities that came together. You had like the Liverpool family, the contingent, Kate's family. You had the Scottish family there, that was Gerry's family. You then had the medical family, the medical world. Remember, she had this in her iris there was a mark, and even the Lancet came out and said, you know what, you might be able to spot this child, it's a unique sign there in the eye, do you know her? And then do you remember there was also the religious, I guess, the Roman Catholic family that came out, and everybody seemed to be talking about it. And I remember saying at the time, It's as if Madeleine McCann has shone a bright light in the very dark world of missing children and child abduction. And yes, it's about Madeleine, but we must open it up to actually help other missing children. And Jerry and Kate did that. They made sure there was an Amber Alert system across Europe should other missing children, 4 other missing children, I should say. But I always thought this, Madeleine McCann shone a bright light into the dark world of child abduction. And I do hope this now brings a conclusion for all the family and everybody else.
So Esther, you've given up all hope she's still alive?
Oh, hey, listen, I never give hope. I give up hope. And if there was one thing Madeleine did, it was give everybody hope. I just want it in one way, whether it's evidence we collect, whether it's evidence against this Christian Bruckner, whether it's questions could be asked, if it's a trail leading somewhere, that's what we want now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so
much.
much.
To, something for the family.